We recently heard a report that over the past decade, home ownership has dropped by the largest margin since the Great Depression. That's according to the Census Bureau. Man, a lot more people are deciding to rent rather than buy a house. And right now on our WHBC Newsline, we bring in real estate expert Mark Bloom. Good morning, Mark.
Morning. How are you doing today?
Doing great. You know, I'm looking at this, and what does this mean for the real estate market? I mean, more people are saying it might be easier or better for them to rent?
I think what we're seeing here are a couple of factors coming together, and what it's creating is a change, and really what that change is bringing, if people take advantage of it, is an opportunity. So we deal with a lot of investment property. I've been in the real estate business for 15 years now, doing strictly single-family, multifamily investment property, and I think what you're seeing is because we've had the last 6 years of market, and I say market generally meaning the downturn in real estate prices, okay, the inability of or unwillingness of banks to give mortgages as freely as they were, or even freely in any way, shape, or form, and somewhat of a hit to our employment and general economy. You see fear, and fear creates, a lot of impediment for people to move forward generally, and in real estate, it's a big commitment. So you're seeing a lot of people shift towards the rent because it has more flexibility if they have a problem with their job. It has more flexibility if they have issues in the real estate market. They can back out. There is no bank that they're dealing with. So it becomes an easier prospect. But what you're seeing also is you're seeing a lot more large investment from people, hedge funds, large investors from Wall Street buying up single-family, multifamily property and taking advantage of the opportunity of there being more renters. That's why rents have gone up, and you are now starting to see people step back into the market. I do think that this is temporary, maybe not completely, but in large part temporary, because people will start to enter the market over the next 3 to 5 years.
Is it also possible that there are people out there maybe who suffered through the last 5 to 8 years, credit not so good, maybe they just can't get a loan, so they don't have any other choice?
Right, so that to the factor of the banks not being as willing to lend, I mean, some of that is that they have become far more stringent on the criteria that they have for credit, and people's credit, because of what we've gone through over the last little bit, has in large part taken a hit. And I mean, one of the things they talked about in the conversations about this article is that a lot of the people who have bad credit because of the downturn in the mortgage market were not new buyers. These were buyers who had already owned houses and went and got refinances and then could not deal with the adjustments as they came about. I just did an interview on an article they did maybe a week ago about how there's more unmarried couples dating, seriously dating, looking to get married, but unmarried couples buying houses now than ever before because they're young, they see the opportunity, they believe they're going to get married, etc. So I do believe that in our country, in America, young people, the younger generation, still do want to own houses. I just think we're seeing a confluence of a lot of different factors that are creating an unusual dip in home ownership.
Yeah, I just saw, I was looking at some statistics. It says despite, the drop, still home ownership is very high in America.
Well, that's the other thing I want to mention is that the drop, though it was the largest since the Great Depression, which is notable, regardless, was only a 0.1% drop. So it's not as though there was some major, drop in home ownership. But being that home ownership is kind of what we've always called the American dream, it is significant when there's any drop, especially one that's the largest in the last 100 years or so.
All right, well, this is real estate expert Mark Bloom. Mark, maybe you can just give us some information on what's the benefit to owning a home versus renting?
Sure. Well, there's a couple different types of ownership, too. Are we talking about owning the home you live in? The benefit to that is there is tax benefits to that. The government does encourage home ownership. There are benefits as far as appreciation, long-term appreciation, especially if you talk about an investment. You always want to talk about buy low, sell high. At NetWorth Realty, we sell investments, and you make your money on the buy side. So we're at a low point in the marketplace. It's going to come up. Real estate is, as in any market, a supply-demand. And in a major metropolitan area like Canton or any large city, you don't have as much supply to keep up with growing demand. It's already been built out to the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. We're now at a point where home ownership is a good thing. Now, home ownership for investment, as we do at NetWorth Realty, also has the same factors, only you're taking advantage of other people going to work from 9 to 5 to pay for your note. So there is also a big benefit there.
All right. We appreciate the time. Mark Bloom, real estate expert. Have a good day.